Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. So our big question tonight, Trinidad and Tobago. I believe some member of the Privy Council said, why is it that Clong and Boat is not being investigated? Why is it that Clong and Boat, the Minister of Finance, is not being investigated for missing money? So I want to ask you that tonight, Trinidad and Tobago. Let's talk about that tonight. Why did Clong and Boat and the cabinet form an investigative team to investigate Jaiwanti and the Auditor General Office? And why Clong and Boat is not being investigated for money missing? Big question in Trinidad and Tobago. And I am sure other finance ministers in other countries are asking the same thing, the very same thing. So while you all ponder on that, listen to this. The Ministry of National Security has extended the work permit exemption granted to Venezuelan nationals in Trinidad and Tobago until December 31st, 2025. In a statement today, the ministry said, in the coming weeks, a list of approved minister permit numbers will be posted in tranche to its website and social media pages indicating when people holding those work permit number must visit the relevant immigration officer to collect their new permit and update their registration card. The release also stated that further information on the collection requirements and process will be outlined to register in subsequent media release. So while we are on this, I want you to look at something, Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to look at something. Venezuelan national, are they registered to vote in Trinidad and Tobago? Also, can the government convince anyone that this now imported citizen will now be able or will now be allowed to vote? Now, his ID card says he's a Venezuelan and his place of birth is in Shogunas. Anyone know a place named Shogunas in Venezuela? I'm asking a question. I'm asking a question. We have a picture? So Trinidad and Tobago, a Venezuelan national who has an ID card, a Venezuelan ID card, say he is born in Venezuela, but the place of birth is in Shogunas. What you are seeing on screen is a Trinidad and Tobago ID card. A Trinidad and Tobago ID card. We have the Venezuelan card. This is the Venezuelan card. My friend here, he was born in Venezuela. In Venezuela. So if he is born in Venezuela, how come his birthplace is in Shogunas? How come? How come Trinidad and Tobago? Show back the Trinidad and Tobago ID. What you are seeing on screen, this is the Trinidad and Tobago ID card. Same name, same person. He is born in Trinidad. Shogunas. Trinidad and Tobago ID card. Look at it. Go back to the venue. Now you are about to see the same person with a Venezuelan ID card. Look at it. Look at the Trinidad and Tobago. So now, come back to me. Now I am asking the Prime Minister now, and the Minister of National Security, how did this happen? How did it happen? Is Venezuelan migrants in Trinidad and Tobago, are they being allowed to vote now? I'm asking, you know. I'm asking a question. So is the upcoming general election, is it going to be rigged? I don't know, I'm asking. Because I am seeing a Venezuelan national with his picture on a Venezuelan ID card. And his picture now is in Trinidad and Tobago ID card saying his birthplace is in Shogunas. I had a story for her yesterday, you know what? I was so caught up with other things. So Trinidad and Tobago, just now we're going to see Venezuelan voting right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here. Hold on, you will see. This is just to give you a little hint of what is to come. So as we continue our program tonight, a significant impact on water supply in South and Central Trinidad can be expected over the coming weeks. As the Point Lisa's desalination plant carries out its annual shutdown to facilitate maintenance work. The plant currently provides 40 million gallons of water per day to the Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA, that is used to supply to the Point Lisa's industrial estate and to augment supplies to customers within central and southwestern parts of the country. Acting WASA CEO Kelvin Romain, my mistake, estimates that between 300,000 to 350,000 customers will likely be both directly and indirectly affected. WASA said the planned shutdown will undertake from Monday, November 11th to Sunday, November 17th to complete works. WASA further stated that special emphasis and arrangement were made to ensure supplies to schools, health center, homes, and the aged home and other special need organizations. So viewers, let's hope that we don't get too much of a backlash from this shutdown, because it is for betterment. It is for betterment. So Trinidad and Tobago, do you think Clongenberg should be investigated? I want to hear you tonight. I want to hear you tonight. $3 billion. Well, according to the Auditor General, $3.4 billion. I'm pressing this matter, you know. You know why? Our tax money is being missed. And it seems like we don't care about it. We don't have proper roads. We don't have proper water supply. We don't have proper electricity. We don't have proper schools. We don't have proper police station. But $3+ billion went missing and nobody can give an account for it. The Auditor General Office, Clongenberg and the Cabinet pulled together a team of people to investigate Jaiwanti and the Auditor General Office. But is anybody investigating Clongenberg? Is any officer or any officers from the police force is investigating Clongenberg? Since his ministry cannot give an account for $3+ billion that has gone missing. And why is it that Central Bank cannot give Jaiwanti Ramdas and the Auditor's General Office access to the check clearance system? Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. I am going to pong this matter so hard, so hard, you would not believe. Why is it Clongenberg is not being investigated? Why? Even someone from the Privy Council asked, why is it Clongenberg is not being investigated? Big story in Trinidad and Tobago. Which office department is going to pick it up? Is it because he is the Minister of Finance that you all are afraid to investigate him? I'll tell you something. In China, he would have been suspended from his position until an investigation is complete. Did you all know that? Well, if you all don't know that, I am telling you. The same Chinese government that is love to go and take loan from, he would have been suspended until a final investigation takes place. So because he's the minister, nobody can investigate him. He's too big. Money gone missing, he can't give account, but it's okay to let that off the hook. When they can't get missing in the hospital, who you blaming? When the students in Trinidad and Tobago go to school and we don't have a proper school system, who we blaming? When we don't have police vehicle to run down bandits, who we blaming? Well, come now, man, say something now, man. Say something. Is this minister too high that he cannot be investigated? So now I want to ask all the lawyers on the UNC team, how come they haven't said anything? How is it that the opposition is so quiet? How are we not hearing anything from them? How come? It's sad, eh? It's really, really sad. To know this kind of money gone missing and no office holder in Trinidad and Tobago wants to launch an investigation into Clongenboot and his ministry. When the auditors general decide to dig up in it, Clongenboot and the cabinet selected individual to investigate now Jayawanti Ramdas and her office. Did she do anything? I'm asking a question. Did she do anything? Did her office do anything? Her office is auditing the Ministry of Finance and found that discrepancies, money spent, but no receipts, no record, no notes. So the PV Council in London give the all clearance to Jayawanti Ramdas to carry Clongenboot to court now. And they ask, why is it Clongenboot is not being investigated for money missing? Why? He too big? He's not too big, you know. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service or the CID or the intelligence unit or the gang unit supposed to be an independent body that nobody controls. How is it that earlier haven't given the okay to the intelligence unit to investigate Clongenboot? How come? How come? The Privy Council wants to know why Clongenboot is not being investigated as yet. But earlier sees that there is no mistake in that. There's no mistake. Billions could go missing earlier and care. She can't even control crime. She can't even control the TTPS. It's sad we have a commissioner of police who doesn't care if money goes missing or not. So is Erla now going to assemble a team now to investigate that the money that is went missing? Come Erla. Just not the Privy Council to put you on spot. Why hasn't the Commissioner of Police launched an investigation into this? I'll say something now, man. I'm afraid to say something. But if all afraid to say something, Saieed saying it. Saieed saying it. It's sad, yes? It really, really sad. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Embed moves to get TNT off global blacklist. You see? $3 billion gone missing. The European Union watching us as some terrorists. But Clungenberg now is trying to get us off the global blacklist while $3 billion gone missing. Who Clungenberg trying to fool? Who? We're going for a short break.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Minister of Finance Clungenberg have traveled to Paris, France to sign a treaty that could take Trinidad and Tobago off two global blacklist for tax administration. At a press conference, Embed said he will first fly to Paris to sign a treaty focused on transparency and exchange of information on tax purpose. He said, once TNT is a signatory to this treaty, it will be taken off the Global Forum blacklist for non-compliance. So Trinidad and Tobago, who put us there in the first place? Ask yourself that. Does the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have the power to put us on a blacklist? Again, we come back to $3 billion missing. Taxpayers' money. But Clungenberg is trying to get us off a blacklist concerning tax. Emmett stated that once the treaty is signed, you can have tax sharing arrangement with all the countries and members of that convention, which is over 100 countries. You cannot be transparent in your own country, but you want to be transparent for 100 countries. Let me tell you something. A clown, the only thing a clown could do is make a little more joke. And that is what Klongenbert is doing. While other countries are laughing at us, he is making a little more joke for them to laugh at us. Now, I'll tell you something. Right around the world, all countries understand that $3 billion went missing in Trinidad and Tobago. And from the Minister of Finance to the Central Bank, nobody knows where the money gone. Because nobody ain't care to give authorization to the Auditor General Office to find out where the money is. But Klongenbert wants to go and sign tax treaties that will make us a laughing stock of the world. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. He said, they didn't allow us to do that or to do it before because they said we were not ready. Our laws were not up to standard. Therefore, this is a huge step in getting us off the EU's blacklist. We are being watched for funding terrorists, but Klongenbert is studying tax. He's saying with this direction we are going in, the European Union will take Trinidad and Tobago off their blacklist. But the $3 billion is still missing. What is it doing? You tell me. Listen to this.
And then the reason why I'm going to Paris is to sign a very, very important treaty called the Mutual Assistance in, it's essentially tax administration, sharing of information in tax administration. And you're not allowed to sign this treaty unless you have reached a certain point in terms of becoming compliant with the Global Forum and the European Union. So for the last several years, we have asked the OECD, which is where the Global Forum is located. Global Forum is a department within the OECD in Paris. We have asked them to allow us to sign this treaty. Because once you sign the treaty, then you can have tax sharing arrangements with all of the countries that are members of that. It's a convention, actually, over 100 countries. They have not allowed us before to sign it because they said we weren't ready. Our laws were not up to standard. The Inland Revenue Division was not compliant, and so on. We've now got to the point where we've crossed the threshold. And therefore, I am going to Paris to sign that convention, which is a huge step along the way in getting us off the EU blacklist now.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Klongenbert is so concentrating on getting us off the blacklist to be tax compliance in transparency. He is so caught up with this that he forget $3 billion missing here. He forget that. Imbert said once the treaty is signed, he will go to the EU in Brussels to show the progress it has made and have the country taken off its blacklist for non-compliance in tax, transparency as well. Listen to this now.
Now, let me explain the difference between the EU blacklist and the Global Forum list. The EU piggybacks on the Global Forum. So the Global Forum is the organization that looks around the world at countries that are compliant or not compliant in terms of sharing tax information. Automatic exchange of tax information, for example, with other revenue authorities in the rest of the world. If the Global Forum decides that Trinidad and Tobago, for example, is not compliant, then the EU would automatically put Trinidad and Tobago on its non-compliant list or blacklist, as is also called. By becoming compliant with the Global Forum, we should automatically come off the EU blacklist.
So viewers, he hope, Klong Imbud hopes, once he approaches top officials in the EU to show the progress Trinidad and Tobago has made in becoming more transparent, is that the EU will take the country off its blacklist and put it on a grey list. Well, I think this man trying hard and joke. Listen to this next one.
I'm also going to EU headquarters on the following day to meet with the top officials involved in the management of their non-compliant blacklist. And again, this will be the day after I've signed the treaty, so we can show them that we've made significant progress, and therefore we are going to request that we go on to something called a grey list, because the EU has two lists, a black list, which is the most severe, of course, and a grey list where they recognize that you're making progress towards coming off the list, and then you come completely off the list. So I'm going to EU headquarters in Brussels the following day to meet with EU officials to show them that I've just signed the treaty with the Global Forum, and we now would like to be put on the EU grey list, which would, again, would be significant progress.
So Trinidad and Tobago, hear this, sir. When Klong Imbud travel to Brussels and meet with top officials to take Trinidad and Tobago off the blacklist for compliance in tax, they should ask him about the $3 billion that is missing in Trinidad. Because the Privy Council wants to know why Klong Imbud is not being investigated. The Privy Council, the same Privy Council that the Prime Minister wants to get rid of, is the same Privy Council that is asking why Klong Imbud is not being investigated. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. The PM and his administration was going dead hard on getting rid of the Privy Council. Now, it turned around, the same Privy Council now is asking why Klong Imbud is not being investigated. It's sad, you know. Trinidad and Tobago, if all you know why I know, eh? Serious, if all you know why I know. Call a good night.
Mr. Said, great program and great topic as
Such
well.
man.
So I hope when Klong Imbud reached Brussels away to sign that document, I hope they arrest him, because he must tell them that he exempted himself in Trinidad and Tobago from paying property tax and extorting money from the citizens of this country in a disguised form of property tax. So I hope they arrest him and take him before an international court for all those corrupt practices. Anyway, Mr. Said, you had highlighted a clip 2 weeks ago, not last week, the week before, with Senator Maraj talking about border security, and the government passed no money for border security. So this is the kind of people we have representing us in Parliament, you know. So this lady don't know when a budget is passed and a national security budget is approved and passed. Border security is included in that, lady. You don't know that? That is a national security budget. This is for national security across the board,
Correct.
including border security. And this is the kind of people we have there in Parliament representing us, you know. And lady, nowhere in the world there is a perfect border. Not in the United States, England, Spain, nowhere in the world. Trinidad is a small country. What you should be talking about is that every time a vessel leaves, any Coast Guard vessel leave a port, the criminal elements know that, the drug lord know that. Just as the police service, they have people looking, sitting there waiting whole day as a boat leave Sirius base to go out on patrol. Everybody know that. So you think anybody is going to run from Venezuela to Trinidad to bring in anything illegal? And lady, you should be asking things like, hey, okay, the Coast Guard boat down, yeah, what we going to do? What about the radars? We had 360-degree surveillance radar. What about them? It working? These are the questions you're supposed to be asking, lady. You qualify to be in parliament? And now you should be asking this government why you're extending these people, the migrants and them, giving them an extension. You should now say, we should find out why they come in this country, how they come in this country, what means they use. Nobody up to this day find out how these migrants come, where they came in from, which one of the ports or what area they came in from. You ask them, nobody could tell you that, but they're going to give them extension. In other words, indirectly legalizing them here in this country. So, Miss Lady, and what you said, you have Coast Guard officers in police station. That is so. I don't know where you get your information from, but all your information is misleading. So these are the kind of people we have in parliament representing us, citizens of this country. So we can't go forward. Mr. Said, you're doing such a great job. You're doing a greater job than all of these MPs and in parliament, Shame on them. Keep up the great work you're doing, Mr. Said. God bless you.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going straight to RBC and the slash in credit card after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan? Only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So viewers, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, we are offering you 4% on a fixed deposit with your interest up front. Remember that. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is doing that, viewers. Remember that. We don't want you to die when you open your fixed deposit. We want you to enjoy the interest that you will be getting up front. That is what we want you to do. Now remember, we are a credit union and a financial institution with a difference. Remember that. So as promised to Megan, I kept my end of the bargain that I will highlight her every night on my program this week. Every night. Imagine Megan called the office last week. I come in. I'll take my pity off. I come in. 2 weeks pass and Megan ain't reach yet. 2 weeks. I'll tell you one thing with Saieed, you know. When you borrow Saieed money, pay back Saieed money. Otherwise, the entire country is going to know you're a bad payer. And that is a problem that you are going to face onwards from people you go to borrow money from. Neighbors, the friends, the family. Yeah. Yep. You think I'm afraid? No, I ain't afraid. You think I'm afraid to go to court? I ain't afraid to go to court because what I am doing is practicing my rights. I'm licensed to lend money. And when you sign your agreement, it becomes legal. Why? Because I am licensed to lend. The next step, I got drop sheets in the papers. The next step. But anything. Don't want to run and hide? I'll run and hide. Run and hide. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to the banking sector. RBC has announced a 65% reduction in the foreign exchange limits for its personal and business banking credit card effective December 1st, 2024. According to a note issued by the bank today, credit card holders' monthly limit will be reduced from approximately $41,000 to $6,020 US, from $14,000 to $2,058 US. RBC states that it is committed to being the bank for all of you and to provide optimal choice for our clients. So you're reducing credit card and you want to be the best bank? If that's how let us do business. However, it stated that given the ongoing Forex currency supply constraint, we need to review the Forex limit to our client credit cards, while striving to balance the need of our clients with the availability of foreign exchange supply. RBC stated that the local TT dollar transaction remained unaffected. Private banking clients are encouraged to contact their private banker for further information, it stated. This move by RBC follows 1 week after Scotiabank announced plan to lower the US spending cap on its credit card, effective December 1st. Weeks before Christmas, Scotiabank customer with personal credit card but expected of the Euro MasterCard Black will face a reduction from 5,000 US to 2,000 US. So Trinidad and Tobago, come Christmas, when you tell yourself you're going to import whatever you have to, you see it online and you're going online and you're going to buy and bring down, hey, you might get that stop right there. Yeah, you might get that stop. Unless you can leave Trinidad, like myself, go into any country, the US, Canada, buy what you need and come back with it. Yeah, walk with your cash. And that way, every time you swipe, you won't have to pay extra. Yep. It's sad, but this is reality. Now, this comes on the heel of Christmas. And it also comes on the heel where the Exim Bank now have 25 million US to release every month, according to Klongenbund. So if the Exim Bank have 25 million US to release every month, why is it that the banking sector is cutting on the credit card? Can anybody in the banking sector explain that? I'm sure everybody's ducking on that table. I'm sure. But nevertheless, viewers, that's their thing. Caller, good night.
Yes, hi, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Sorry, two things before I go.
Tell me.
Alright, first of all, right, you hit me nail on the head because plenty people forget about the city council and how rowdy and trying to get rid of them here.
Yes.
A lot of people forget it, right? That's a good thing you remind people.
I love to remind them.
Yeah, and you see how important the Privy Council is coming now.
Yes.
With these kind of matters.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but anyhow, I want to ask you a question, right? Do terrorists accept pity?
Do what?
Do terrorists accept pity? Do they accept pity? Asking us a simple question. Because if we have no foreign exchange,
correct.
how we can be funding terrorists? I don't know, I just asking a question here, you know. I just asking a question here because that make much sense to me if you understand what I'm trying to tell you.
I understand.
And my last thing I want to say before I go, right, is that if the finance minister is in charge of ensuring that the country have Forex, and the banks now balling that they don't have Forex, that means the finance minister not doing his job, right?
Thank you very much for saying it.
So he should have been fired from that office immediately as soon as people start complaining about the Forex. Anyhow, Saeed, you enjoy your work, you enjoy your weekend, and good work, boy. I like how you're hitting them tonight. You're hitting that direct on here.
Thank you, my friend. You see, viewers, that is why when I come here, all I come here to do is to educate you, you know. I didn't come here to fight down party, you know. I didn't come here to fight down party, you know. I come here to educate you. I come here to tell you what you need to know. Not what you should know, you know. It's what you need to know. A simple little thing. Banks in Trinidad is cutting U.S. credit card, personal and business. Exim Bank recently get $25 million to release every single month. Who authorized that? The Minister of Finance. All the time the Minister of Finance had the authorization to do that. But you know what? The businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago, he squeezed them. You all were squeezed into shutting down business. You all were squeezed into complaining. So how it is now, Exim Bank got 25 million US to release every month to import and exporters. And the banks we have in Trinidad and Tobago is slashing your card. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Caller, good night.
Hi, how are you doing, Saeed?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Just following on from that other gentleman caller who was quite right. Saeed, was it any other nation? The Minister of Finance was gone. He wasn't going to present no 11 budget.
Exactly.
The governor of the central bank was gone. Out. If that was Jawala in the chair, Jawala did not spell Jawala from himself.
Long time.
You understand?
Yes.
They are launched that person. You understand where I'm coming from, Saeed?
Yes, long time.
This finance minister, I've had it with him. Every year this man comes with a senseless, empty, shallow, degenerate budget, skinning and grilling while the people catching hell. What you doing with credit card no more if you can't get a couple dollars on the US? Said when they bust down Petrotrin, that was the end of any foreign exchange. This charade that they're playing with what they call Paria or whatever that stupid company name, it is a charade, Saeed. This country gone back to the days of Guyana in the 1970s when Guyana was running donkey cat, and right now Guyana licking way up because all the business of this country go in Guyana. Oh God, only fire that, sent that Minister of Finance in the morning, and then can't governor with it because the central bank is culpable in the matter as well. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Trinidad and Tobago, as I said before, I am not here to fight party. I well, prices increase. I am spending almost $1.3 million every 12 months to keep this program on the air, just to educate you, the citizens of this country. To educate you, to make sure you understand what is taking place, to highlight your plight about the lack of school, the lack of medication in the hospital, the condition of the hospital, the condition of the schools, the condition of the road, the escalated pricing cost of living. This is why Real Talk was birthed, to educate you. Not to fight for party and who party is the better one. No, it's not for that. I didn't come here for that. I didn't come to fight party. And you all notice, for the last 7 years, I haven't asked anyone to run an ad on this program. I haven't. It never came out of my mouth. Hey, y'all come and run an ad. Get your ad on the best current affairs program. No, I have not done that. And we are going 7 years strong. Let me ask you a question. Trinidad and Tobago citizens. How did you feel when Clung and Boat went to the Privy Council to tax you? How did you feel? How did you feel when Clung and Boat said $5,000 penalty for homeowners in this country who fail to pay their property tax? How did you feel to know that is the minister you put there and that minister cut your own tail? How did you feel as a citizen? Did he work for you? No. The man is digging a hole in your pocket and you can't see that. You can't. It's sad, boy. So we're going for a commercial break, but when we come back, SMES, Exim Bank, main client. After this, you'll know more.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union, Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan? Only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Finance Minister Clongenberg has revealed that the majority of business that have benefited from the Exim Bank special window for importing essential items came from the small and medium-sized enterprise SME sector. On November 3rd, the ministry issued a release which said Cabinet had taken a decision on the November 1st to reopen the Forex window, which will give Exim Bank $25 million per month to distribute to import of essential items. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, this is what I have been telling you since the beginning of this week. The money was there all the time. The money was there all the time. So if this money was there all the time, why were the business in Trinidad and Tobago suffering for Forex? Ask yourself that. Why were we suffering for it? Imagine 25 million US per month. So I'm going to ask you now, where did this money come from? Tell me, where did the money come from all of a sudden? But also noted that when persons are requesting Forex for manufacturing, they have to provide evidence that they are manufacturers or have an invoice coming from a foreign supplier. Listen to this.
And then when we send the Forex to the Exim Bank, for example, we just agreed that we would give the Exim Bank $25 million US per month of the government's foreign exchange for them to distribute for essential imports, and there's a whole list. As I said, we modified that list. We've taken out some items that were considered essential during COVID, like face masks, respirators, hand sanitizer, and so on. We no longer believe that that should fall into the essential category, where we've left food, we've left pharmaceuticals, and certain hygiene products that we consider to be essential inside of there. We're going to keep looking at that and see whether we need to add or delete from that particular group of items that qualify for essential imports. But I don't get involved. I don't call the Exim Bank and say, give so-and-so US dollars. I'm not involved. They have a formula. They have a well-structured system where, for example, when you are requesting foreign exchange from the Exim Bank for imports or manufacturing, you have to produce evidence that you're a manufacturer, that you have an invoice coming from a foreign supplier, that you are exporting your product, that you are repatriating your foreign exchange. It's a not very complicated thing, but it works very, very, very well.
Ready? So Trinidad and Tobago, the minister reiterated that neither the government nor the ministry distribute Forex to citizens. He said, from time to time, he may get a letter asking him for foreign exchange. Now listen to this.
I want to make it crystal clear that this Minister of Finance and no Minister of Finance before me has any access to any foreign exchange to distribute to anyone. From time to time, I may get a letter asking me for foreign exchange based on a misconception, obviously. They think it's me. It's not me. Okay?
So viewers, the man said he have no access to it. None. But we're going to leave that right for Monday. And I'm going to tell you something. So viewers, construction companies in Trinidad and Tobago, you all interested in purchasing an excavator? Well, Real Talk have an excavator to sell.
This job is not for
It's a beautiful 306. It is like new. Contact me, 339-1670. It's a 306E. It is a beautiful excavator, viewers. Those in the construction company looking for an excavator to buy, it's relatively cheap for those in the construction department. I also have a truck. It's a 7-ton wrecker. It's a sliding bed, Isuzu, with a crane. Those who want to go in the trucking business, you want to go in the wrecking business also, this is the perfect truck for you. As you can see the condition of the truck, top condition. The bed is a sliding bed, it's a 7-ton Isuzu with a crane. So viewers, you're interested? Anybody interested in a truck? You want to go into the wrecking business? Not a problem. Contact me, 339-1670, and we can do business. We also have a package deal for both truck and excavator. So viewers, until we meet again, I am Saieed Ali saying enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you on Monday night. Good night.